let's start recording from there. Awesome. Hello. Haven't streamed for a little while this evening. We are going to be having a chat about fangs. You can see that I've got some lists loaded up here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump them in TTT so you can see them up on the sides. This is a recording, so this isn't going to be a live game. This is going to be essentially me playing against a guy called Promiemotz, who's a very nice Hungarian guy. He is in the same league as me, as the in the Vassal league, and we had a really close game, and it was so good I wanted to go through and basically play it again, if you like, and have a chat about it with you guys. So it means that you guys can see, because I know that a lot of you have said, really nice to say hi to you, by the way, for a lot of you guys that have said hi to me at a lot of recent events. We've been chatting and you've said that you really appreciate that it's nice to hear my thoughts on things and my input. So I'm going to do one of those, but this time I actually get to have a bit more of a breakdown of it. I had to get to have a think about it, etc, etc. The other thing is we also get to, there we go, say hi to those people who have asked me over the last few weeks, how is it that you actually fly these damn fangs? Because there's a few people who've been asking me this after I won the recent hyperspace trials. So we're going to get in and do that, and yeah, get into all the action, which it should be nice and fun. So there we go, that's sorted. So we got the names up there. We're not going to bother putting a timer on it, but we now just need to put lists on the side of, there we go. Lovely, so that should appear in a second. Boom, done. Cool. So, as you can see, this is going to be a game with myself and Promiemotz, who, as I said, lovely guy from Hungary. Hungarians are really good at X-Wing, it seems. A guy called Tothbebe, played against him quite a few times in the Vassal League. There's another Hungarian as well in the Vassal League here, Kuzmin, who is presently the only other guy on 4 wins and 0 losses, same as me. So, hey, how's it going, Dutch? Good to see you. So yeah, it should be good fun. See how this goes. Obviously, I know the score, but you guys don't. So we'll wander through now. For those of you wondering, what I'm going to be doing here is using Vassal's log file functionality. So whenever you play a game on Vassal, you can save it as a log, and then you can watch it back later just by loading it up in the Vassal window as you would normally load up a game, and you can wander through. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to have a bit of a conversation. So first thing we went to is rocks. I had the left hand side, he had the right hand side, and thinking about the asteroids, I don't like the idea of those K-wings coming the sides, so I plot my asteroid up the side there. He is thinking, well, okay, I have large bases, I don't want rocks in the way, so he's getting it out the way on my side. Oh, good question. If I was running 4 fangs, would I run gas clouds? This, I would say no. They're a real advantage to me, don't get me wrong, but I think they're more of an advantage to my opponent. If you're playing, for the same reason that I used debris fields instead of rocks in hyperspace to counteract the mining guild swarm, I like using the asteroids that give my opponent the biggest disadvantages possible, because I believe that I can fly around them pretty well, so you never know, it might win you a game. Okay, so second asteroid goes there, same principle. I don't want him turning into the sides easily. He places one there to get it out of the way. And I've got to think about this one. There's a little bit of up and down here, as I remember that I can't rotate the asteroid like that. I decide, just to clarify, this one was placed by me. I decided that when he put this here, I quite like the channel that he's giving me, because if he gives me the opportunity, then it means that I can just joust him and block up these massive bases, because my fangs move first. They're quite good at blocking. The only issue is they've got to get out again afterwards. So that's that one. So moving forwards, we get that one there, and there we go. Just sorting out ship deployment. So I've gone for my standard deployment, put my fangs in the bottom corner here. Gives me lots of options. You don't know where I'm going first turn. Could be going forwards, could be turning in, no idea. And I really like this K-wing deployment. They're close enough that they shouldn't crash. They're threatening everything. We talk about it in a second, but he has made a small mistake in that he hasn't pointed his arcs sideways. The point of these K-wings is that the barrage rockets go forwards, and the arcs are sideways. Yeah, the proton bombs are scary. They're really, really scary. Hey, good to see you, Alex. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I looked up. You can see who's played what in the Vassal League beforehand, and I'd seen that Promi had used the 4K wings before, and he got a fairly solid win with it as well. So I knew that he had this in the bag. And when he asked me that, I want to play extended, is that okay? Because technically the Vassal League's meant to be hyperspace unless you agree. I really wanted to try out 4 fangs against the K-wings because I'm taking it to Yavin, the biggest system opener ever. So I wanted to see how this went down, and he obliged me. Turned out he did load up the K-wings. So my Fen has gone in the corner, easy flanking position, and let's see what happens. So in this situation, he's set up opposite me. I could joust him, but as he hasn't set up in a block, I'm only going to be able to block 1, maybe 2 K-wings with my fangs. The other ones are going to get good shots at me with the barrage rockets, and I don't really want that. So let's go through a bit of dial setting here. You can see when the dials appear on the table, we finish setting. Now this is a 19 turn format. There's my dials. You can see where I've decided to go, but let's just wait for his to go on the table. Yeah, as it's a 19 turn format, there we go. It means that time is not an issue. You can take as much time as you want. Now, with my fangs, I decided, you know what, I'm going to try and drag him through the asteroids. I'm more manoeuvrable than he is, to an extent. I mean, the fangs are faster. The K-wings are faster, but the fangs are more manoeuvrable. So, there we go. He slams his way down the side there with his K-wings. This one goes there, and slight mistake with that one. I don't think that's a big issue. He's in the position he wants to be. I get the impression he just wanted to slow himself down slightly. And Fen didn't want to commit too hard, too straight up the side. Gives me options. And then I think about it for a little while. I didn't boost there. So, on to round 2. Just waiting for dials to come back on the table. Think about my positioning here. I've split him already, which is good for me. You can see that if I manage to wait long enough, that those K-wings are going to have to contend with all the rocks here. They're coming into the channels, which is good. It means I can get a block off. So at this point, I just need to delay slightly and try and force him to come into an awkward position. So I overcooked this a little bit. I did a hard left 2 and then barreled. Hey, hello there. Thank you very much for the subs. So did the barrel roll thing. Unfortunately, took me a little bit too close to asteroid, more than I'd like, but the other 2 are in a really good position for next turn. He decides to slam with his K-wing. He comes in. That guy stays where he is. These 2 just come forward like that, preventing lots of threat. So he's providing me with as much as possible with a solid wall of firepower. The K-wings behind are stopping me from escaping if I go over the top. Fen decides, you know what, that's a nice juicy flank. Now, just before I move on here, you'll notice I did a straight boost with Fen, not the curvy boost. If I'd have done a curvy boost, it would have been very easy for that K-wing on the, so this one over here. Very, very easy for him to do a 2 hard slam and then a 2 bank or something similar and just block me. So the straight boost there gives Fen a little bit more space to play with. He can turn in next turn without as much threat of getting blocked, which is important. Now, obviously there's only 1 ship in range. This guy would be in range of my fangs, but he didn't take any focus. He slammed, so my fangs are safe. Now, this is the big turn. I've talked a little while about on the internet over the past few weeks about engagements and setting up the right range for engagements. If I get this turn wrong, I die straight up. Same thing with him. If the K-Wings can manage to engage at the right range, then they should win, because barrage rockets range 2 or range 3 is lovely for K-Wings with barrage. Unfortunately, the barrage rockets are bad at range 1 because they just don't trigger. So that, like with the bombers, you just want to joust them at range 1, and that's where a fang lives. So if I can manage to get the range 1, then I've done it correctly. However, if I miss and I make range 2, I'm in trouble. So what I've done here, just to break down each fang, number 1, I wanted to do the 2 bank, but I couldn't be certain it wouldn't hit the rock. So I've decided to do the hard 1 there. He can position and threaten red K-Wing over here. He can threaten that guy. Now, this one and this one are a problem. He's too far back to really do anything other. I checked the line on this, and I thought, I don't think he can 3 forwards that easily, but even if he does, he sits there, that's okay. This guy definitely can't go forwards. He's put himself in a sticky situation, and he's also feeling the heat a little bit. If he comes in and gets blocked, all of my fangs could turn in on him, but I have a problem over here. It's very easy for him to turn these guys in, and this guy, and just threaten Fen. So I wanted to stop that from happening. It also means I can get all 4 fangs on the same ship. So I decided to, knowing that he would have to turn away with this guy, I can avoid shots from him. So I can commit very hard to these 2, knowing that as long as I get at the right range, I'm not going to get good shots back. And as well as that, if I block him, he doesn't get his focus token, so he can't fire forwards. So let's see how this goes. So his dials are down. So my fangs, moving them in the correct order, commit hard. So we go there and we do the boost. Now you'll see what that does is it blocks the hard 2, just in case he decides to go for Fen. If he goes forwards, okay, that's fine. Now, I believe I made a mistake here. This guy shouldn't have boosted. He should have done the barrel roll to the left. I feel like that's the only mistake I made in the opening engagement, apart from this guy not being able to do the 5 orders as well. But he goes there, he barrel rolls backwards. Likelihood is, if this K-Wing comes down here, he will get good shots on it. Also, he's stopping, for next turn, he's in a good blocking position. So that's fine. So he will stay there with the focus. Now, what you can see, this guy turned away as he had to. This guy, instead of doing the 3 forwards, he didn't risk it. It was very close to the asteroid. He just slams to get himself a good position. And what we have here is we have a 3-on-1, because the K-Wings are now stuffed. So the K-Wings crashed, and again with Fen being super careful, I could have boosted in around the corner, would have given me a range 2 shot, basically, or barrel roll, basically no return, but then I'm too close for next turn. Those K-Wings are going to come around the corner, I'm going to crash into my own fangs, so staying at range 3 here gives me a good opportunity to go into range 1 next turn. So think about this, when you're playing with fangs, range 2 is not your friend. You want to be at 3, or you want to be at 1. If you get too close, you can get blocked. If you're far enough away, it's really easy with a 2 bank and a boost to get into range 1 with Fen. So he takes a focus, takes a pot shot, and fluffs it entirely. So good job, Fen. Right, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to move that dice box. Where are we? Dice window. Let's shove you up here because you'll be better. Give me a second. There we go. That's way more fun. We'll chuck that up there. Sorted. Right then. So back to this. Oh no, doesn't like it. There we go. So going from here. I mean, sorry. Well, he did actually do something there. Gets 2 shields. He doesn't have to worry about spending his focus because he's at long range. K-Wing has a go, and doesn't really do much. Fang says, thank you very much, you don't have any focus tokens, I will dodge that. This guy, again, he's putting all of his firepower into ZR1. He knows that the Fangs are going to be able to take down the K-Wings can take down a Fang with those 2 dice guns if they pour fire into the same ship. So he's decided that even though it's long range, he is going to shoot him. However, without focus tokens, they just can't do that much, and he dodges that one as well. Finally, this guy also dodges. So now we have this Fang. Now, I could have taken the easy range 2 shots, but I've already taken shields off that guy. Now, you'll notice with Fen as well, I shot this guy at the back. The reason I did that, and I didn't go for the easier shot, is because I have shots into this guy from all 4 of my fangs. And you're going to see in a second that's going to make a huge difference. So this guy shoots, spends his focus because he's the last thing firing, does a hit and a crit. Crit says structural damage, -1 agility. That fang is now in a really bad position. Now I got a bit lucky there. No evades from either of the range 3 shots, but I didn't get any 3 hits. And this guy really whiffed. So realistically, averages are still the same. He gets a hull breach for his next card. So he has 3 hull remaining. This guy, range 2 shot. Needs 3 symbols. Doesn't get it to kill him, but does get 2 face-up cards. First one is a disable power regulator. No real difference. But the second one, direct hit, double damage. So this first engagement couldn't have gone much better for me. I killed a K-Wing. I'm in a pretty good position and he split himself up. Reason for that is because I didn't go straight at him. I wasn't trying to fight all 4 K-Wings at once. And with those big bases, I made him split himself around the rocks. Because the fangs are fast enough that you can delay the engagement. So if I'd have gone straight in, then chances are I would have eaten proton bombs. On the subject of proton bombs, this is now what I have to dodge. So, have a think about it. Where can I go this turn that doesn't get me bombed to hell? Think about which ships are going to go where. Right, there are my dials. Now I've decided to turn away with 2 of my fangs. I could have just turned over the top of him, but that would have made me eat a proton bomb. So these 2 fangs over here are just going to turn to the right, block up everything, and allow Fen to get his range 1 shot, which is what he wants. So, bombs come out. Only number 4 is spending a proton bomb. This guy goes there, considers the barrel roll. I thought about the barrel roll very hard here, but I wasn't quite sure if it was in range. And this guy also does the same thing. Now, what that's done is it's left the 3 forwards open, which isn't ideal, but I had to deal with it. However, you can see what I've done with Fen to compensate for that. I've done the hard 1, so if the 3 forwards does happen, then I've got him. I just put the range 1 into him. If the 3 bank happens, and he goes over the top of these 2 guys and hits Fen, then even though Fen crashes, I get 2 range 1 shots into the rear of that K-Wing. So I've covered all of my options. This guy does that, because that means that if he does the hard 2, he'll probably crash. There he goes. And he can't escape. So it's a case of trapping your opponent. This guy comes around. This guy comes around. I'm only taking 1 barrage rocket shot and 1 side arc shot here, so that fang should be okay. Fen, again, I really want to do a 1 bank boost, but I don't want to get too close for next turn. I didn't want to risk crashing. So he's fine where he is. He'll just take a focus. Bomb goes off and no one gets hit. So, Fen whiffs. Frustrating, but what can you do? Shouldn't take too much damage back. This one shoots, just the 1, is safe. Then I get my bit of bad luck. I got lucky the previous turn, took out a K-Wing. You'd expect a Fang to be able to dodge this on average dice, however he takes a hit and a crit, which again would normally be fine if it wasn't a disable power a damage sensor array, or the iron would have been just as bad. So yeah, he stays exactly where he's going to have to stay exactly where he is next turn, and he's just going to have to eat a proton bomb. There is no way, with the rock where it is, with him where it is, that he can get out of that proton bomb next turn. So yeah, that's a problem. That blank was a really big deal, because damage sensor, 2 health Fang, realistically he could just die next turn. So I'm in trouble, but only with 1 Fang, and I'm still up. Still have Fen on the board. So, moving on to the next turn. I need to be really careful again, because I know that a proton bomb is coming out from number 4. I know that those 2 K-Wings are coming in, so I can't leave Fen anywhere near that proton bomb. I can't leave the 2 Fangs anywhere near the proton bomb, and I need to get guns on target. So, with blue, we can just come around the corner. With pinky, I'm not entirely sure if he covers it, and this is where a bit of bluffing comes in. So you'll see here I've done a 3 bank with pink, and I'm going to go through that in a second. Let's just do the stuff. So we get the bombs on the table. So bomb happens. Lovely. Now he just does hard 3 and a boost. Makes sense, gets guns on target. Now the reason for the 3 bank here is because I wanted to see if I could bait him. And I'm not sure whether I was successful here. Having that fang go over there implies that Fen is going to come to the left and regroup with all of his friends. Just don't take the proton bomb. So that fang goes there, again, implies that Fen isn't coming in that direction. I've put a fang in the way. And this guy goes around the corner and slams so he doesn't get shot. Very sensible. Good moves. This guy comes around there, this guy comes around there, and Fen is cheeky and ends up at range 1. Now, that could have gone badly for me. It could have gone really badly. If that fang had come in and blocked, I would have been straight onto a proton bomb. He has Sabine, so he could do some very nasty things to Fen. However, I took the gamble because I was basing it on how he thought the board state was at the time. It was very unlikely that Fen was going to be there, so I took that risk, and I knew that I could get out of that bomb range. So, there we go. Calculated risks. This guy takes a structural damage. Ouch. So he's now got 1 agility. He's got 2 agility only, and he can't do actions apart from a focus. So he's in a pretty bad place right now, and is almost certainly going to die from the 2 KOE shooting him. This was Fen's second fluff of the game, which was very frustrating. Range 1 on a 1 agility ship. You'd like to think he'd do damage, but apparently no, none at all. So yeah, that happened. Thankfully, he doesn't take a crit back, which is good. So, this guy puts 2 into the Fang. Thankfully, Fang lives, survives. Now, we talked about this. If he'd have jammed that Fang with Sabine, he would have survived, which is a big deal. The other one can't shoot him because he slammed. So, next turn. Now, Fen has some proton bomb problems coming. Whenever a Fang has to go over the top of a K-Wing, he's in a big problem. So, what I should do is I should just be safe and do a hard 2 to the right. You'll see in a second that I didn't because I'm a moron. That made my life quite difficult over the next few turns. I also forgot, would have made my life a lot easier, that number 4 had run out of proton bombs at this point. If I hadn't forgotten that, then it would have been a very easy job for Blue to come in and just block things up and get shots. Unfortunately, Blue decided to bug out because I'm stupid and I forgot things. So hard one from that one. Easy move, just take a focus. Try to get him to shoot me and maybe survive. This guy sits there hoping for shots. Really nice move. Number 4 clears that, gets a free shot on his. This was, yeah, that it just happened. He splattered himself on a rock. There was a bit of a mistake with the rock, so I just replaced the rock here, just to make sure that it does flash if anything happens again. So that's that. Does take a damage from it. And this guy slams, because again, he doesn't want to take damage. And Fen is in a pickle. So, yeah. He doesn't want to take 2 protons, so he boosts forward, so he only takes 1. Doesn't stress himself, because otherwise Sabine could double stress. And takes a console fire from that. So we got lucky, really. It could have been a lot nastier. Decides to ion him as the Sabine move. So, this guy shoots out the side, range 2 at the Fang. Fang survives. Lucky Fang. That's the only thing that can shoot, because the other 2 have either slammed or is on the rock. So shots back, 3 hits, not bad. Takes 2 shields. That Fang is doing some work, even though he almost died. Thanks, man. Good to hear the great commentary. A lot of people wanted to know how I fly the Fang, so I'm talking you through my my mindset and what goes through my head when I'm doing it. So we got a bit of shots in. Console fire for Fen. Got lucky, didn't get any damage. Fang says 2 crits. K-Wing takes 2 shields. So we're chipping. The K-Wings are slowly going down, but a Fang is limping, and if he gets a good hit at this point, I am screwed. So Fen's going 1 forwards. I've got a Fang on 1 health, and the blue one can't really do anything this turn. So Blue is just going to come around and see if he can take shots on this guy down here. Just does a hard 3 around the asteroid. This guy needs to have some blocking considerations. As Fen is there, this guy can drop a bomb. He has a bomb. He's going to drop one on Fen. Fen can't avoid it. No way. So this guy wants to come around the corner and do the hard 2. I cannot allow that. I just can't let it happen. Or if I do let it happen, I've got to get a shot on him for doing it. So I've got 2 options. I can Talon roll this guy, or 4K him and get a shot here and a shot here. This guy's going to come around the corner, so he is going to get a shot over here as well. So I could get 3 shots into this guy, trade for Fen. Alternatively, I could just make sure that he doesn't come around the corner. So the easiest option of doing that was actually to block this K-Wing. So blocking this K-Wing means that this guy will just crash into him. You block 2 for 1, maybe even get him on the rock, and nobody can shoot. That's the ideal. So with that in mind, I looked at this and thought, I think a 3-bank fits. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll get the dials on the table, and we'll see what I've done. So there we go. So, I changed my mind. So I accidentally put the dials face up on the table, so he saw exactly where I was going. All I did is I took them off the table for long enough to make him think that I might be changing them, and then put them back. Right, this guy comes around. He's cheeky because that boost fits. I looked at that for a little while. This guy, again, nice and close. Consider barrel rolling. I don't know whether he's going to do a 3-bank to the right with this K-Wing down here. Could have been. If he did, I would have been in trouble. But I thought, well, I'm going to get shots with 2 of my fangs. If he does come around the corner, he's taking a proton bomb, and he gets shot at range 1 and range 3 by a fang. Probably worth it. So, yeah. This guy goes there. K-Wing goes up there. And now, he decided to move him first, because he wanted him to turn the corner. I think that was a mistake. I think it would have been better to crash straight forwards and have better ball position for next turn, but is what it is. This guy then does that. I think he didn't. I'm not sure whether he thought that was a 3-bank or whether or not it would fit. Fair enough if he thought it would have fit. That's why he did it that way. But knowing that did crash, I think he should have done this guy first and then crashed yellow into the back of red. Would have given him 2 shots on Fen as opposed to Zip, Zipper and Zilch. So I believe that... Oh yeah, that was the asteroid. So he's safe from the asteroid. Fen ends up over there. I consider my options. He still has a tractor beam on Sabine. So normally I would have done a 1-bank to the left, but if I do that, he tractor beams me forwards and I go off the board. That's a really, really bad idea. He has a jam left, so I kind of want to get the jam out. So I take a focus just in case. He might jam it off anyway. What else has he got? He's got the stress. So again, I can't do a stress move because he'll just stress me. So the bomb goes. Fen takes a... Oh, yeah, sorry, that was just to confirm that it had hit the rock. I wanted to check whether or not the bomb had hit the other K-Wing. So this K-Wing takes damage. Fen takes a weapons failure. Again, getting lucky on the crits. Weapons failure and a console fire. And he tractor beams me forwards because it puts me in a corner and just puts Fen out of commission for another round. And again, I roll an eyeball on that console fire, getting lucky on the console. So, into the Fang. 2 dice, 1 dice. He has lived far longer than he should. But then again, he did whiff his dice earlier, so fair enough. And yeah, Promi is complaining about the fact, with valid reason, he should have just jammed him earlier and made sure of the kill. Okay. Oof. That's going to sting. So, Fang takes a crit. Crit says wounded pilot. That's not terrible. If he does something, he takes a stress. Okay. So, Fang, who has no right living. Another two hits into the range 2 K-Wing, just trying to sink damage. Does another hit. This guy, range 1, 4 hits, 4 damage. That K-Wing is now on 2 health remaining. So, at this point, because my Fangs have been able to stay alive for long enough, you can see that they are just sinking damage into the K-Wings. Even if I lose Fen here, I believe that I have enough health left on my Fangs to take damage. But, again, you cannot forget the bombs. He's used 2 bombs on red. Red doesn't have any bombs left. He's used 2 bombs on pink. Pink doesn't have any bombs left. But guess who does have a bomb left? And this was my mistake. If I'd have done a 2 hard with red last turn, then he would have survived. However, I did the 3, I put him way too close to the rear arc, and I still can't do any repositional actions because I still have that crit. I have the damage sensor array. So because of that, I've essentially killed him this turn because yellow is going to drop a bomb. Because yellow's dropping a bomb, Pinky can't just crash, he has to move, so Pinky's just going to do the hard one to the right. Fen comes around the corner, and red attempts to get out of it, but knows that he's just flying into his doom. I considered with blue whether or not to chase a K-Wing, but the K-Wing moves after me, it can slam, I'm never going to get him. Just put a nice wide arc in there, and shoot the things that you can shoot. So, there goes the bomb. This guy tries to dodge it, and just booms, fails. Should have flown off the board just for giggles. He gets out, comes around the corner, ready to threaten that low health K-Wings. He comes around the corner, also gets out of bombs for next turn. This guy comes around there, does the boost. That was really stupid, like moronic, because I boosted into range of a bomb. Oops. And if I'd have stayed where I was, I would have got a shot on that guy. Oh well, mistakes made. But yeah, when you're doing this, to be fair, it only got me by the nubs. I thought that was going to be out. This guy comes around the corner and gets ready to fire. So, Fen decides to stay where he is. Doesn't take a focus for some reason. Oh, I decided to flip the console fire. Yeah, I had a bit of a think about that, whether or not to flip the console or take the focus. Probably better to flip the console fire and just try and survive. So, disable power regulator for blue, gets an ion token. That is not good at all. Takes a hit, sits there. Does get a shot though. So, I get reasonably lucky with Fen, and he only gets a single hit, but he rolled 2 evades anyway, so would have been fine. This guy, again, whiffs, and I get 3 hits into the K-Wing, which kills him. So at this point, pretty much game over. I have 2 healthy fangs, and a half health Fen, and there are 2 K-Wings on the board, and they're reasonably healthy, but there we go. So this guy comes around the asteroid, gets ready for later. I have to 1-4s with blue. K-Wings come in, try and pick on blue. Fen comes in and flips his second crit, so he hasn't got the weapons failure anymore. This guy, 3 hits, 3 evades. There we go. So at this point, I've got 2 options. Where could these K-Wings go? They could go left, they could go straight forwards. Okay, depends who they're going to commit to. Hey, thanks. Good to see some TNX in here, Jester. So, yeah, I have to decide where to commit, and because I'm initiative 1. Now, the easy thing is that what happens if that K-Wing goes left? This guy here. What happens if he goes left? Well, it doesn't do any damage. This guy has no other place to go. The only thing that could cause me a problem is if he does a 2 hard and a 2 bank, but then I move first. So I'm just going to set up and trap him in a hole. So that guy comes around the corner, he's easy. Blue is also going to come around the corner, and Fen is going to do a 3 bank up towards that K-Wing. Now again, I made a mistake here. Forgot about the fact that the K-Wings move second. I was thinking, right, I do a 3 bank, K-Wing can't block me because blue will be in the way. Forgot about the fact that blue wouldn't be in the way, should have done a 2 forwards instead, and then I had good options on whatever happened. You'll see why in a second. So that guy decides on the boost. He either, again, what's better for me? If I get crashed into, that's fine, I'm not getting shot. If he slams over the top of me, that's fine, I'm not getting shot. If I go too short, I might end up at range 2, and then I get shot with barrage rockets and I lose the game. So, yeah, you've got to think about those ranges. So, as it is, I boost forwards, this guy comes around the corner, and he's decided to go fast, and I catch him. Good for me. This guy does come around there, does the 2 bank and a 2 hard. Fen was stupid, so just crashed into him. Oops. Oh well. Takes a shot. Takes a shot on Fen. Sensible decision, but blanks. If you don't have tokens, you blank. This guy decides to give him a hit and a crit. Crit is damaged engine. That is not good for a K-Wing. So, a couple more turns of just general you know what, Fen can make that hard one. Blue could turn in here, but he's going to be in the way of Pinky, and I just wanted to regroup. So the bombs are all gone at the moment. He hasn't reloaded. Oh no, he did reload one. Yeah, so this is why I didn't turn the corner. Hey, thank you. We like the follows. Follows are good. So this guy comes around the corner. Pinky goes there, and again he boosts forward, so he dodges the bomb with a focus. This guy comes around, wasn't expecting Fen to do the hard one, and Fen goes, hello there, and gets his 5 dice monster. There was a bit of misunderstanding here. The slam token wasn't quite there, so I did the barrel roll, and then we said, okay, that's fine, because just I don't want to stress myself if I don't have to. So as he slammed, I couldn't shoot him. Fen finally gets the big hit, spends the lock for 4, and direct hit comes in and murders the K-Wing. So pretty much game time here. There's a few more turns. We roll forwards, fangs regroup. K-Wing decides to come around. Hey, more follows. Follows are good. Fang goes up there. We get a couple of shots. Bit of a range 1 shot. Fang says, I love range 1, and dodges. Shoots him back, gets all the crits in the world. And to be fair to Promi, he forfeits here. He has a single health K-Wing. But that was a really, really good game. Lots and lots of decision points. I had to continually keep on my toes about proton bombs, and you can see I got caught out a couple of times there. There was a few small mistakes that if he'd done different moves could have lost me the game, getting Fen trapped in that corner. The easy move, when Fen was around here, around there, what I should have done is I should have come around the corner this way. No point in 2-banking around there. I just take 2 bombs, do the hard 2, boost, come back later. Let him waste his bombs. That's absolutely fine. So yeah, there we go. There's a bit of a thing on fangs. What we're now going to do is, because it's midnight and I apparently don't need sleep, is we are going to go and have a game of Vassal Online, because I have a new list that I want to test. So if you guys want to hang around, I'm going to get out some Jedi. So let's do that. The map's going to disappear for a second, but we're still going to be here. We are just going to go online and see if we can get something rolling. I'm also going to stop recording.